Scarlett is having a spa day. Well, she doesn't know that. She's running away right now. Since a lot of people seem to struggle with bathing their pig, or specifically keeping their pig from screaming at the top of their lungs when they're bathing their pig, I'm gonna show you how I do it. Also, some people don't know this, but their hooves require pretty regular maintenance. And it's not like a dog's nail or a cat's nail, because it's a hoof. It's really important to get them used to filing their nails at a young age, because otherwise, as adults, you might end up having to take them into the vet and having them sedated so that they'll hold still long enough to file their hooves down. So I'm gonna show you how to do that and clean up this dirty pig. Pigs are notorious for having really dry, itchy skin. If you've ever watched any of those cute pig twerking videos where they're itching their butts, it's because they have dry skin. So it's adorable, but still, the pig probably needs some lotion. So you only want to bathe your pig about once or twice a month. Now in between that, you can use baby wipes because they do get really dirty faces, but a full bath, you kind of want to limit how often you do it. These are some of the products you're going to want. A towel for drying. Also, this towel is for putting in the sink, and I'll show you how to use that. For soap, because of the dry skin, you want something really gentle, so either a baby shampoo, or I like to use the Dr. Bronner's soaps. They just seem to be a little more moisturizing. Treats, I like raisins. Actually, I don't like raisins, but Scarlett likes raisins. Coconut oil for after, and you can do this even once or twice a week, and you can put a little bit on their food. This helps with the dry skin. A kind of scrubbing brush, not too hard, but this texture is really good. And then for the hooves, at her size, she has pretty tiny hooves, so I can use a large human nail clipper. And normally I like to use a metal nail file. They're a little more abrasive and stronger, but I couldn't find mine, so this will work all right for today. So I think I've tried just about every method there is for bathing my pigs. There's two that I like in particular, and I'm gonna show you the first one. I always do it in the sink. She's small. I picked Scarlett for this video because bathing is still pretty new for her. She's only had a couple of baths, so you're gonna get a very honest reaction. It's surprising how warm they like their bath water. Obviously, if it's too hot for you, it's gonna be too hot for them, but don't be afraid to make it pretty warm. They will relax more when they're nice and warm. Using the small towel. This is one of the methods I see used a lot. If your pig is a little bit bigger, I can see how it would be beneficial. Personally, I've never really had pigs react well to it, but if you just throw your pig in your sink or your tub or whatever you're using, they're gonna freak out. And one of the main reasons is because their hooves are super slippery on that surface. So you can put a towel down, and that helps keep it from being as slippery. Like I said, I don't really like this method. I still find my pigs are scrambling and freaking out and trying to jump out and yelling, and water gets everywhere. But if your pig is too big to hold, put a towel down. And this works if you've got a big, large pig and you're washing them in a tub, put a couple of towels down. So that is not my preferred method, but it is one that a lot of people end up using. It's important to remember, even if your pig is throwing a huge temper tantrum and it's loud and it's unnerving, they are in fact okay. And so if you have a big reaction to their big reaction, everyone's just gonna be stressed out. So kind of ignore them. Calm them, give them treats, scratch their belly, and keep going with the bath. If you stop, if you pull them out, if you react in any way to their tantrum, that behavior is going to be reinforced. They're going to see that they basically get what they wanted. And so the screaming is going to continue. Can you see it? All right. Not hot water, but very warm. Ready? Now again, she's only had a handful of baths. So we'll see how this goes. And you don't want to put it right on their head. That's scary. And so I kind of get her used to it. What's on your face? Give me that. Gross. Yeah, this is why you need a bath. I will warn you, most pigs poop in the bath. I think it's just a nervous reaction, but don't be surprised. You can't really see. Whoops. Holding them like this, they're more secure. If I set her down, I guarantee she's gonna freak out. And I'll do it in a little bit. So she gets to be held. She's not slipping and sliding. She's not standing in, you know, water up to her belly, which is scary. She just gets to relax. Get the belly. There we go. Yeah. Oh, that's spraying me a little bit. It's probably spraying the camera. Sorry, we're gonna have to change it. There you go. You can get the belly, that big old round belly. I like to do the bath before I do their hooves so that they're nice and clean and I can really see what needs to be trimmed. A lot of times their hooves don't need to be trimmed as often as once a month, but I still like to just fuss with them so they get used to that feeling. All right, we're gonna put you down for a minute. Good girl. Not doing too bad. I never put the soap right on them because it's usually pretty cold and they do not like that. Okay? Put it on here, kind of warm it up some. Obviously, avoid their eyes. You also want to avoid getting water in their ears, of course. The way that she takes most of her baths right now is with me. I just take her in the shower, hold her, wash her off. It's really simple, painless, quick, she doesn't mind. I really try to avoid using treats as positive reinforcement because pigs are so food motivated. They can start to see you as solely the treat person and they can get really unruly and demanding. So the fewer treats you can give, the better. It's really ideal if you can just have such a great relationship with them that just your praise and your scratching and cuddling is enough of a reward for them. So this is how she likes to be held. You can see her legs are on either side of my arm. She feels very secure. Yeah, kill them. And that's it. She's nice and clean. They smell great. This is the worst part because she's not in the warm water anymore. So it's kind of cold. So I wrap her up in lots of layers and cuddle her for a while. Since I don't like to put soap on her face, this is really when I try to clean that off. Pigs are extremely clean. They don't have an odor. As long as the males are neutered, they don't have an odor. Unneutered males will develop kind of a musk scent, but other than that, very clean. So now we're gonna start working on her hooves. And again, I fuss with them constantly, and it's really important. Anytime they're just cuddling with you, feel free to kind of play with their hooves a little bit, right? Hers aren't too bad right now because I do this all the time. I'm not going to show you how exactly to trim them in terms of what shape or anything like that. I really suggest going to your vet and while they're babies, have them instruct you on what kind of shape and everything you need. That way you're really confident. You make sure you don't end up hurting your pig. But for the most part, you're just following the natural hoof shape. You can cut down on the frequency of hoof trims by having them walk on like a sidewalk or just any kind of rough cement concrete surface. The front of the hoof stays more rounded and the bottom of the hoof really stays flat. With larger pigs, your best bet is to catch them when they're already laying down comfortably in your lap versus trying to catch them and hold them down. They're not gonna like that. So use what opportunities are presented to you. Of course, warm blankets always help. With pigs that are not used to being held, I always suggest keeping a circulation of towels in the dryer that are nice and warm, because other than food, being warm and cuddled is like their #1 life goal. We'll go ahead and put a little coconut oil on her. People who've never held or touched a pig are always surprised by how rough their hair is. It's not soft like a dog's, but coconut oil makes a big difference. And I actually have a little brush that I like to use to really get it into their skin better, but for right now, I'll just use my hands. This also makes all of the other pigs and the dogs really like her. Chase her everywhere to lick this off. Over the back legs, and the front legs, on the belly, and a little bit on the snout. You done? They feel clean? Pig in a blanket, right? There you have it. Pretty uneventful, not traumatic at all pig bath. Hello? Can we see your cute face?